In 3.15, we are delivering hospitals for the players of Star Citizen. For me, the healing loop is something that's gonna have a big impact on the way we play, especially in co-op. We ended up creating these drop-off points where you can carry your injured friend. It sort of looks like an elevator with a gurney in the middle. So if you have a big crew and everybody has had a bad day, then you can keep feeding them to the machine. One of the interesting challenges about building hospitals is obviously that we have to build them for a purpose that isn't there yet. And so what we did on the design side, we were very involved with the actor feature team in what is the healing loop going to be like and what are the requirements that we have to factor in our location. So we decided that we need some pharmacies where you can purchase meds. We need also instrument shop where you can set your respawn position. We need also like a completely new way of approaching rooms reservation. We know we get assigned a room in the habitation when we spawn, but now we do it the other way around, where you go into a location and you reserve a room from the lobby, and we didn't have that flow before. So we had to develop all of that to support all the mechanics that are implied with the healing.
For 3.15, we introduced 4 hospitals: Horizon, Base Clinic, GrimHexu, and New Babbage.
As you enter New Babbage Hospital, you'll see right away what I think is one of the really cool features of this hospital is that there's this glass ceiling above you that allows you to really take in the vista. And if you look behind you, you'll see the Espire Grande Tower where the abs are. You're gonna find your reception on your right hand side, and you're gonna find all your shop and services needs on your left hand side. And really from there, all you have to do is keep going straight to the other half where the elevators are. And then it takes you to the medical floors.
I specifically worked on the upper floors of the hospital. That's where the player will be able to check in at the nurse's desk, spawn in at the medical room.
In my opinion, this hospital shines. Horizon is really big, super high ceiling, really open, and super clean too. You have like the reception right in front of you and the service is a bit behind. And then the elevators, they take you higher up.
As you go out of the elevator, then the player will pass through and see this absolutely gorgeous wind sculpture there, and seeing those big whale passing through the clouds in front of you as you're in those medical bed, feels special, it feels different.
And then we have the space clinics. They still offer all the same services that you would find in a larger hospital. It's just that everything is more compact.
We're creating modules and different pieces of the space clinic, so that way every time you experience it, it'll be just a little bit different and you'll still get the same feeling.
We always try to place them near the elevators that takes you to the hangar, so that whether you come in after you're being injured or whether you're walking out and you're in a hurry to go back in space, it's easy and convenient. So you walk in there, it's again very clean, but much less so than Horizon. Obviously, it has more like this kind of low-tech vibe to it. These ones, I expect them to be fairly popular because they're just so convenient. GrimHexu, if it had a smell, it would smell like like a sport bag or something like that.
Low tech, it's not as clean as New Bab or Horizon.
Me personally, it's the best. It's much smaller. It's more like on the clinic size, so there's not a big elevator to go through. As we all know, elevators are the biggest killers in game development, so it's a good thing that we skipped one there. It has this really nice view to the asteroid field outside. And the cool thing is that you can also land your ship right next to a side entrance to the clinic. So if you're in a hurry and you don't want to go and park in a hangar or into the traversal, you can park right next to it, get out, walk in, and get treated. But the thing is, like, it's open space, right? So your ship is exposed while you do that, and you could very well see a pirate fly in and shoot at your ship as you're getting fixed yourself, and really this kind of emergent like interaction is really what makes a game shine, I think. The hospitals are part of a game changer.
When people leave the hospital and they wake up and they explore around, I think they're really going to see like the love and care we put into each crevice and corner.
I hope that the hospitals are going to be a way to wrap up the full healing loop. Honestly, if the players find them convenient, me as a designer, I'm happy my job is done.
Hospitals are the next major offering from our team in Montreal, and serve as harbinger of the next major advancement in player healing from the actor feature team scheduled to come online in the upcoming Alpha 3.15. And while we'll be learning more about how all that works in the coming weeks, let's shift gears now to spaceships, specifically Aegis stalwarts, the Gladius, Saber, and Retaliator, and find out what it really means to be the gold standard in a pipeline that is continuously evolving to this day and beyond.
The gold standard pass is what we are terming this current pass on the vehicles. We are implementing primarily cockpit button placement, could be button animations, making sure everything is to metric, both character and item wise, exposing all the ship items, lighting passes, material passes. Gold standard is finishing the ship to as complete a standard as we can with the feature set that we have right now in the game. The first ship that we put through this pass was the Aegis Gladius.
I was a little nervous working on the Gladius because it is like the star squadron, and you know, I wanted to make sure I did a good job on it. And then also coupled with the fact that because Squadron are using it, I had to make sure that I didn't break anything with each submit so they can keep working on Squadron and you know, still able to test and work on it. We started off with adding component hatches and a personal inventory. Gladius didn't seem to have any like visible headlight source, so I went in and added like some nice big headlights for that at the front. And then it was just, like I said, like with the thruster glows as well, trying to get them to look nice and read from a distance. Adding the fuel port on it as well. And then, yeah, just like some geo optimizations and material optimizations and more stuff that you don't necessarily would see, but makes the game, you know, more optimized and runs better.
So on the next ship, which was the Saber, we built on what we learned from the Gladius and did that in the Saber.
For instance, the damage mesh, needed a bit of tweaking. We added in a bunch of lighting so you can still read the ship from afar, but not make it too bright as it's still a stealth ship. And after the whole exterior was done and dusted, we moved on to a revision of the dashboard. Overall, just reworking so it's not as noisy. And now you have like a better view of like your cockpit and then just everything nice and compact to the sides. In a couple of sentences, a really rough overview of the Saber Gold Standard process.
So the Retaliator Gold Standard is obviously a much larger task than the Gladius and Saber. Has all the same criteria of work, so looking at the cockpit, looking at the components, adding all the things, checking everything's symmetric. But because it's got an interior, then there's additional tasks added. So the same work we do for the cockpit of the pilot has to be done for the turrets. The components that you can physically take out of the ship, can you physically take them out of the ship? Do the doors need to be wider, etc.? Now you've made the doors wider, do they still fit in the ship when they open? And we also took the time to look at the central room and thought, can we improve on this? We decided to remove the top and bottom docking collars and go for a side airlock, which also helps for docking because that's just a natural walking on transition. And then because we'd lost a lift on that side, we then realised we had to make the lift on the other side slightly larger to accommodate essentially 2 lifts worth of people. So then you've now just got 1 lift on that side of the ship to get in and a docking collar on the other side to get in. The thing that the Retaliator has is the customizable room modules, and there's a cargo module front and back, dropship module at the front. They were all brought up to current standards, so when modularity comes on as a swappable item, they are good to go. That's where we're at with the first gold standard ships. Obviously going to go through all the ships, but we are going to focus on the ones that feature heavily in Squadron 42 first, and then we will roll on to your favourite ship afterwards.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that hospitals are the vanguard of new player healing mechanics coming to Star Citizen that look to change the way we live and die in the persistent universe. That much like the planet tech, even the spaceships that we've had and flown thousands of times continue to improve and evolve as new technologies come online. And that elevators truly are the most dangerous killer in the game development kingdom. They only let me work Jungle Cruise once, but I killed it. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckaby. We'll see you all next week.